Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. I am your host, the Ref, where I'll keep you up to score and everything sports, hip hop, and hot topics. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to Scoreboard Keepers. You're around here, we keep the seats, we keep the score. So if you want to get on the board, make your point. If it makes sense, we'll add it to the board. If it don't, we won't. Scoreboard Keepers.
Jalen, you guys had the ball moving in the first half on offense, weren't able to sustain it for the second half. Do you see any common themes as to why you guys struggled in that second half?
Well, one, I'd like to give my respects to the 49ers, how they came out and played. They made plays when they needed to. The coaches coach well. At the end of the day, we didn't make the plays when we needed to make them. And that's something that we're all looking in internally first.
Jalen, just your general thoughts on the offense this season, and kind of the up and down nature of it.
Obviously, you want more consistency. And there's a desire to improve steadily throughout the year, but, hard to look at it from a big picture perspective right now. I think just having the opportunity to go make something happen and not doing so for whatever reason, those are the things that we all have to improve from.
Jalen, can you take us through the fourth down from your perspective? And Nick mentioned you took a picture. You guys took a picture and got some information. Did they come out with something different?
No. They played cover four structure and.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I didn't make the play. I own it. I own it all.
Can you address how things went with Kevin Patullo in your first season together? Did you grow together? Did it get better? Did it ever stagnate?
Yeah.
And do you think it has a future?
Well, I think I'm always growing. I'm always taking in my experiences and learning from everything that we go through. I think it's tough to single out one individual, especially in a moment like this. We all got to improve, and that's how I look at everything that we go through.
Nick talked about how explosive plays today, but kind of the theme of the whole season, there weren't as many as there were a year ago. Do you think that's one of the things this offense needs to get back is the explosiveness that it showed you?
Well, I think finding a rhythm and whatever you define aggression as, maintaining the fluidity and the flow throughout 4 quarters of the game. So I think there's opportunity for us to improve in that. Just finding a rhythm. Ultimately, it's just all something that you either learn from it or you don't.
A lot of people talk about execution all year, just the lack of execution. Do you think maybe some of that is just the reality of the NFL, that it's hard to come back after winning a Super Bowl and repeating? You don't see it happen that often.
I think it's always hard to duplicate, but it's everything was there in front of us, and so just got to really, really, really improve from it. Obviously we all could have executed better, but it takes everyone being honest with themselves on that and challenging themselves to grow from it.
What do you kind of put your finger on as far as, it seemed like the same mistakes keep recurring week after week. I mean, did you think you finally had it, figured out this week, and what kind of happened to not?
No, not necessarily. But the mentality was, we're all we got and we're all we need, and we're here and we're going to go try and make it happen and give our best. And And obviously, it wasn't enough. But there are a lot of things that we'll be able to look back on and say, okay, this is an area we need to improve on, and this is how we can grow, and we just gotta grow from it all.
In terms of being honest with yourself, was this team honest with themselves? You know, September, October, November, when these questions were coming then?
I think winning is hard. Nothing about it is easy, especially when you're trying to repeat. You know, everything was clear for us and what we wanted to accomplish this year, and we came up short. And so you have no choice but to learn from it, especially if you have a great passion about it. And that's my approach. That's my approach with it all. You know, I think, you know, when I look at this game, and I know this is a little different, but it kind of answers a question that you asked before. You know, we've got to take advantage of our opportunities when they're there, and we've got to be smart and rhythmic in what we do and how we do it. Ultimately, you know, when I see our defense, you know, get the ball back like that, I mean, we've responded with touchdowns, and those are the times we capitalize, especially on short fields. And I take ownership for not being able to put points on the board. It all starts with me and ends with me. And so there's a there's a sense of a lot there that you can learn from. I think as a team, as a collective group, and personally for me as a quarterback, how you see the game, how you feel the game, and ultimately just, you know, okay, how can I find a way to win, and wasn't able to do that today.
You mentioned repeating is hard. Winning is hard in this league from week to week, but what makes it even harder to go back to back from your perspective?
It's the first time that, you know, this team has been in that situation, and this unit has been in that situation to have the opportunity to do it. And, you know, hopefully we have another opportunity to do so at some later date. But it's, you know, I look at how you respond to it all. And so, you know, I think for this year and this team and this collective team, there's a lot that we've got through our experiences this year to learn from, and you just want everyone to be intentional on learning from them.
John, we saw with a couple of throws at AJ, you guys were just kind of off for whatever the reason. He had the one kind of go off his hands late. You know, what were some of the issues that get you to hooked up more in this game?
Yeah, we just didn't make the plays.
We've seen this all season kind of at various points. Like AJ, you guys started slow, and then there was like a period there where like, you know, the catches, yards were coming between the two of you. You know, what was the kind of like the theme of the season between the two of you? If there was one, was it you know, did that factor into maybe the offense never being at full throttle?
I think competitively, everyone on our team has had a great desire to win and achieve the ultimate goal. And, you know, especially here right now, having everything in front of us, it was about winning. And that's something that we didn't collectively do. And that starts with me. So I take it very personally on that.
An offense that has this type of talent and these resumes, how do you reconcile sitting here with 19 points?
Obviously, you want more. Obviously, you work for more. But it's an assessment of how we can improve in the end, regardless of what it looks like. It's about how you learn from it, how you respond from it. And so that's not on any individual. It's on us as a unit, this team this year. And got to improve from it.
Thanks, John.
Let me tell you guys what I got from this. I got from this a lot of like rhetoric. I got a lot of things that just don't seem to add up to what we see on the field. This team has been talking to this media corps for 14, 15 games now. And every week they seem to be getting different answers. But the questioning is around what they actually see on the field. Now, they were hitting around to, of course, the obvious, which was A.J. Brown. Okay? They had to be, hinting towards him. And I would say the reason they were hitting towards him was because of the drop balls. And not just the drop balls, but what happened earlier in the game that we've seen happen there a few times, which is him and the coaches or whoever on the sidelines having an issue. I'm talking about as far as him reading books on the sidelines and them telling the media that, this is something that he does to, I'm not quite sure why he does it. It eases his mind or something like that, during the course of a game. But these are things that don't seem to be displaying an athlete that's in, unison with the rest of the team. There's all types of rumors flying around about him and Jalen Hurts not getting along. I'm not so sure, if that's what it is or if it's just a competitive nature. But what I am sure of and what I am certain of is that we saw the same thing happen in Dallas as well with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, where these receivers, these things are the things that are going on can be taken care of in private. It doesn't have to be on full display so we can all can see. And I believe that the reason that these things are on display so we can see is because somebody wants us to see it. We have to be honest with ourselves here. I'm holding everybody accountable here. First of all, I'm holding the coach accountable. I'm holding the offensive coordinator accountable because this was also getting around to him. They were actually trying to get around to him. How do you account for this offense so talented, only scoring 19 points? Well, of course, I'm pretty sure this is a big change. This is a big change from what they're accustomed to having, who's no longer there. Steichen is actually in Indianapolis right now. So I think they were hitting around trying to point this blame around to everybody so everybody could share a little piece of it. But, it doesn't help with the coach. It doesn't help with the coach arguing with the receiver on the sideline. I understand him being held accountable. I understand him being held accountable for drop balls, calling coaches out when he's not receiving drop balls. Okay. He went through this game tonight where he went through 2 quarters without catching a football. So I understand the coach wanting to call him out, because if he's not receiving the ball, he's complaining about it. So I do understand that. So I look at this as if there's just the chemistry is not there on this team. They've assembled a lot of talent there, but it's only one football on the field. And if you got a player on there that doesn't understand the team aspect of winning games and winning championships, a dynasty, because you've won one, but I'm talking about assembling a dynasty. The one thing about assembling a dynasty is that these players got to know their roles for several different seasons, for several different reasons. It can't be just about me all the time. This team has won a lot of football games, and the issues that they're having right now and putting on display so the public can see, it's a cause for concern. And I believe that during this offseason, somebody's going to be moved. More than one person. I can also see this offensive coordinator being moved. Make no mistake about it. When Jalen Hurts was asked about it, he's just saying I can grow. Well, what does that mean? you can grow. Is the offense coordinator growing with you, or are you saying you can grow without him? I believe that there's a problem all the way around. I believe that the coach is not getting along with the wide receiver, the head coach. I believe that the quarterback's not getting along with the offensive coordinator. I believe that Saquon Barkley is just sitting back watching it all happening. I believe that somebody's going to be moved. I don't know where they go from here. I'm not sure that they can make it back from this. Because these are serious issues internally. These are serious internal issues. You're looking at having another offensive coordinator come in there. And for Jalen Hurts to be happy enough and your receivers to be happy enough with the type of offense that he's running. So the offense coordinator is also catching strays from A.J. Brown. And we haven't even brought up Devonta Smith. So there's some issues here. And these are the issues that happen when you assemble this type of talent all on one team and not look at personalities. Personalities are a big thing, and this is where chemistry becomes so important. If you have a player on the team that doesn't care about anything other than winning and not padding stats, he's already making good money, you can go a long way. But if you have one of those type of receivers out there that he's always open like 7-Eleven or like Wawa, he's always open, you're going to have yourself some problems. You're going to have yourself some problems because, I mean, it comes across as selfish. It's not like they've been losing a lot of games. It's not like they haven't won, they're not the defending champions. These are the type of things that's supposed to happen after you've been dethroned, not prior. We saw these things coming into the season. We saw these things in a little bit on last season. So these are not issues that are surprising to anybody right now. So where do they go from here? It's my opinion that there's going to be a lot of movement in the offseason. They have a general manager that likes to move around. He likes to shake things up. And I believe that the offensive coordinator will be gone. I believe that A.J. Brown possibly may be gone. It may be some moving around up in there. Howie Roseman won't be shy in trying to shake things up. And I mean, A.J. Brown's a pretty piece. So, I mean, if you dangle him out there, there's going to be some teams willing to take on that contract. I can think of a few right off the bat, especially up there in Buffalo, even maybe down there in, maybe L.A. It's a few teams. Raiders. There's a few teams out there wouldn't mind having somebody like him on their roster if they're trying to make a serious push. Miami, there's a few teams. Kansas City, how about that? How crazy would that be? And don't forget, A.J. Brown is from the AFC. He's a former Tennessee Titan. So going back to the AFC would not be a surprise to me. So ladies and gentlemen, man, listen, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Thumb up this video. Leave your comments down below on where do you think the Philadelphia Eagles go from here? Is their run over? Can they rebuild from this? Can they come back from this? Can they build a dynasty? Or is it over? Should they separate this team, break it all up, and move on? Let me know down below in the comments, man. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Until the next episode of the Scoreboard Keepers, I'm your host, The Ref. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thumb up this video as well. And I will see you guys on the next episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. So until then, peace. God bless everybody out there.